everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Maya Alexis, and usually I say that I'm a senior computer science major, but I've officially graduated from college now, and now I am a full-time software engineer. To hop straight into this video, today we'll be talking about how to apply for jobs and internships. August is a big month for new opportunities. In August, most companies open up their talent acquisition for this upcoming school year and for the summer. So this is the perfect time if you were concerned that, oh, this summer I didn't have an internship, or how am I going to start applying for jobs? Where do I even go for jobs? Hopefully this video will be helpful to you if this is you. Let's talk about where do you even apply for jobs at. You have to be extremely careful about applying for jobs because there's a lot of bad people out here that want to take your information and use it for not good reasons. So I personally, to play it safe, I only look at jobs on Google Jobs or LinkedIn, and then I go directly to the company's website and apply directly on the website rather than using Google Jobs or LinkedIn directly. I can just go to the website. That way I know that there's no one that can steal my information. If you look at the top of the bar where the URL is listed, you'll usually see a lock button if the website is safe for you to enter your information on, because a lot of job applications may require you to put your last name, your address, sometimes the last 4 digits of your social security number. You just have to be extremely careful because there are people out here posting fake job acquisitions and posting things that could make you think, oh, this sounds good, like I could work here, but it's not a real job and they're just stealing your information. To use LinkedIn Jobs, you have to have an account, and I recommend if you do not have a LinkedIn, you need to make one and start establishing your connections on there now, because a lot of recruiters do look at people's LinkedIns, and a lot of hiring managers looked on people's LinkedIns to see who you are, and sometimes recruiters will even reach out to you on LinkedIn. So make a LinkedIn account, get connections, make your profile nice, take a nice headshot, and just have it open and available while you're applying for jobs and internships, because people do look at it and it could be beneficial to you. For the last couple of months, I've been curating a list of major companies in all different types of industries that you could apply directly to their websites on, and that will be linked in the description. And it's free for you to view. You could just click on the links and apply and look on the website to see if any jobs or internships that you qualify for that you can apply to. So hopefully that can be really helpful to you in starting your application process. Once you apply for a job or an internship and your resume is in the system, it can be matched with the job description and see if there's keywords that matches with your resume and with the job description. If there is a lot of words that match within your resume, you can get moved forward to the next process, which is called the pre-screening. The pre-screening could be coding or it could be a personality test. So I'm going to talk about some of the key ones that a lot of companies use when they're doing pre-screenings. To start, let's talk about the non-coding related ones. There's one called Pymetrics and one called HireVue. Pymetrics is basically a personality test. You can play a bunch of different random computer games, and from those game results, it can give you a personality analysis, which is what the company uses to see if you would be a good fit for them. HireVue is an interviewing platform where you would answer interview questions without a live recruiter being there. All of your answers are recorded, and you are given a certain amount of time to read the questions before the recording starts. They also sometimes have coding problems. Now let's talk about the coding pre-screenings. Most of the assessments are time coding problems. You have to solve them, and you are usually able to pick any coding language of your choice. I can't tell you how many questions there are, but sometimes companies choose 2 coding questions or they choose more. But they're all in a certain amount of time and you have to complete them, or you leave them blank, and of course that goes against your scoring and recruiters see that. Most of the problems relate to data structures and sorting. Since this is a pre-screener process, in my opinion, the questions are very hard if you aren't good at data structures, because these are the questions that are used to rule out applicants and to make the applicant pool smaller. My biggest advice would be, if you do not know how to solve a problem, do not waste your time trying to just solve one problem, and don't leave the question blank. When I have these situations, I usually would try to make comments and describe what I would have done if I would have had more time to code, instead of wasting my time being stuck on one question or leaving it blank. So at least the recruiters can see what your mind process was behind it. LeetCode and HackerRate seem to be very popular among companies when they're using coding assessments. Codility and CodeSignal also have coding test features, but a recruiter can also see live what you're coding. You would call this a whiteboard interview. Make sure you relax and don't stress yourself out. Spend your free time on LeetCode and HackerRank practicing these coding questions, because it can help train your mind to think fast and on the spot to code for the pre-screenings. Coding assessments can be very stressful sometimes because you're answering questions you don't know, and on top of that you're being timed for it, and it can add even more stress if you have a recruiter looking live at what you're doing and everything you're typing. If the company thinks you did well on the coding assessments, you get moved forward to the next step, which is the interviews. There are two types of interviews: behavioral and technical. Behavioral focuses more on group work, how you deal with challenges, and how you exemplify leadership. So you could get a lot of questions about, like, how do you work in a group? Tell me about a time you did this. Tell me about a time you had a challenge and how did you resolve it? Tell me about a time that you were in a leadership position, things like that. Some companies recommend that you use the STAR technique when you're doing behavioral interviews. What is the STAR technique? It stands for situation, task, action, and result. Under situation, first you introduce the situation and set the scene for your employer. The task part is when you describe the task you had to complete, what the challenges were, what the expectations were around it. With the action, you talk about what you did and how you did it. And with the results, you talk about what was the overall experience, the accomplishments, the reward, and the impact of the event that you're describing. Technical interviews may focus on you describing some of the projects that you've worked on or that you've listed on your resume. It also may deal with data structures and algorithms. You could have multiple technical interviews or coding assessments depending on the company. I know companies like Google, you have to go through over 3, I think. Definitely a lot of coding assessments. If your interview is virtual or in person, make sure you dress well. Your recruiter may be underdressed and casual, but they already have a job. First impressions are very important, and dressing up can make you feel more confident in yourself. When you're talking to recruiters, don't make it seem like you're a know-it-all and you're not willing to learn anything. Of course, it's fine to talk about what you're knowledgeable on, but also talk from a perspective that you are willing and open to learn anything. I would say set goals with yourself. Make sure you apply to more than one a day. Think about this. The more you apply to, the more opportunities you have of getting an interview or a pre-screening assessment. So if you only apply to a little bit, that lowers your chances. So you might as well just apply to as many that you qualify for, as many as you could find, because it just opens up your doors and opportunities to where you could get something that you actually really want. From now on, you should be grinding until you receive an offer that you want. It may get stressful, but think all of this preparing, all of these assessments and interviews are temporary. When you have that job or that internship, you won't even think about how you felt during those moments. You'll just be enjoying the benefits of your labor. I hope this video was extremely helpful for you. If you have any questions or you know of any companies that I could add to my list, please feel free to reach out to me. And good luck with your applications, and make sure you start applying ASAP.